Why do you open your eyes in the morning with no memory of the hours that have passed? And why does falling asleep feel like stepping out of time completely? Sleep takes you away from measurement. There are no hours, no ticking moments, no mental checkpoints. What you normally use to track the passage of time becomes silent. Your awareness stops scanning for sequence, and something deeper becomes active. Carl Jung believed that what happens during sleep reveals more than we understand while awake. In that state, your mind isn't shut off. It's moving in a space where ordinary rules don't apply, including the rule of time. And what you call a peaceful night might be a deeper process you never consciously witness. If you've ever wondered why time seems to disappear the moment you fall asleep, stay with me as I explain Carl Jung's philosophy that opens a layer of what really happens beneath your awareness. Before we begin, it is very important to know the relationship between time and the unconscious mind. In waking life, time is measured by motion, the ticking of a clock, the shift of sunlight, the rhythm of tasks. Your brain uses these markers to build a structure of past, present, and future. Sleep removes them all. You're no longer moving through space, you're still. And in that stillness, the sense of time vanishes. In Carl Jung's beliefs, the unconscious mind doesn't follow the same logic as the conscious mind. Where the ego prefers order, sequence, and linearity, the unconscious operates without those limits. That's why when you sleep, and especially when you dream, events feel out of order yet make perfect sense. You're no longer in the part of yourself that needs beginnings or endings. What disappears is not time itself, but your tracking of it. Time feels absent because the part of the mind that depends on it is no longer active. What remains is presence in an undivided experience that holds no clock. To understand this fully, basing on Carl Jung's philosophy, we'll now look at the reasons you can't feel time passing during sleep and all the shifts that happen deep in sleep, and what does it mean to your soul and spiritual being. 1. Time doesn't exist in the unconscious. When the body enters sleep, awareness begins shifting away from the layers that organize your daily life. The part of the mind responsible for scheduling, organizing, and interpreting sequence becomes quiet. In its place, the unconscious becomes more active, and the unconscious does not use time to arrange experience. In this state, experience is not divided by beginning, middle, or end. A single image, thought, or sensation may carry the emotional weight of an entire narrative. Events do not follow one another by order. Instead, they appear in clusters of meaning. A person may dream of something that feels long or dense, but the experience is unified, not measured. The unconscious presents information through symbols, impressions, and inner responses. These do not require time to be understood. They emerge all at once, in complete form, and often leave a distinct emotional imprint. This is why sleep often feels like an instant. The unconscious is active, but its way of processing does not include time as a structure. 2. Your ego sleeps, but your soul wanders. Carl Jung believed sleep is the only time the ego shuts up and the self takes over. You don't feel time passing because you're no longer tracking it, something else is. Jung suggested that during sleep, the part of you that manages tasks, roles, and decisions no longer leads your inner activity. He said that what becomes present is the self, the deeper core of awareness that carries the full truth of who you are beyond personality or identity. In this space, you are not responding to the world. You are simply present within your own being. The absence of tracking allows this deeper aspect of you to move freely. It does not rely on minutes or memory to orient itself. Instead, it responds to what is internally active. The awareness that operates in this state notices what is unresolved, sensitive, or waiting for attention, and begins to move toward it without pressure or urgency. This is why certain kinds of clarity or emotional shifts can appear after sleep. The self has space to reflect and correct without disruption. What it touches or resolves is not organized by time. It is guided by what holds energy within you, and that energy can be met directly without delay. 3. Your subconscious exists outside time. That's why dream logic is chaotic, non-linear. Like you're in a story, but there's no start, middle, or end. In the dreams, you just know things without being told, and that's how the timeless self speaks. What makes dreams feel strange isn't just their content, it's the fact that you understand things without being told and move through events that don't follow normal time. The subconscious doesn't build stories, it presents symbols. That's why dreams often jump from place to place without warning, and yet they make emotional sense. In this part of the mind, time is not an anchor. It's not even a concept. The subconscious holds everything at once: childhood fears, recent thoughts, forgotten feelings. It doesn't organize them into a logical story. It lets them arise as they are. And because of this, nothing needs to happen before or after. When time disappears, it's not a loss. It's a return to something more complete. The subconscious doesn't process moments. It receives impressions. That's why a dream can feel full, even if it lasted only seconds. The value is not in how long it lasted, but in what it touched inside you. 4. Sleep is a return to the collective unconscious. Jung said we all dip into a shared mental ocean every night, and time doesn't matter there. You're swimming in symbols older than language. Carl Jung described the collective unconscious as a shared field of knowledge, symbol, and instinct that connects all human beings. This layer of the mind holds images, emotional patterns, and archetypes that are not personal but universal. During sleep, your awareness comes into closer contact with this layer. Dreams often include faces you've never seen, languages you don't speak, or places you've never visited. These elements are not drawn from memory. They are drawn from something older and more expansive than individual experience. The collective unconscious carries these forms across generations, and they emerge when conditions are open to receive them. In this field, time has no meaning. Symbols do not evolve gradually. They are whole the moment they appear. This is why sleep can produce visions or feelings that feel ancient or deeply familiar, even if they have never appeared in your waking life. The presence of these elements reflects the timeless nature of what Jung saw as a shared human blueprint. 5. Your soul is off doing something else. When you sleep, you don't feel time pass because you're not resting, as most people think. You're working, healing, traveling, being shown things. Sleep activates inner movement that cannot be seen but can be felt once you wake. While the physical body restores energy, the non-physical aspects of your being are still active. The soul is sensitive to emotional residue, unresolved thoughts, and spiritual needs, and it engages with them when the surface quiets. In this state, you may not consciously observe anything, yet you return with a sense of having been through something important. The work of the soul during sleep is subtle but meaningful. It reaches memories you've buried, ideas you haven't formed, or connections you weren't ready to make. During this time, your inner structure may revisit memories, clear emotional residue, or reconnect with impressions that were left incomplete. The movement is internal and precise. It does not unfold in hours or follow predictable stages. It occurs when readiness is present. People often wake with a shift in energy or insight they cannot trace. That change reflects the quiet work of the soul during sleep. The tasks it completes are not measured in time, they are measured in release, understanding, and balance. This is part of why even short periods of rest can produce noticeable inner results. 6. Dreams are the language of timeless truth. Linear thoughts need clocks, but dreams? They're truth without timestamp. They come when they want and you wake when it's done. Dreams do not wait their turn. They appear when something inside is ready. There's no schedule, no delay. What they bring is often what needs to be seen most, not in the order your mind expects, but in the order your spirit requires. This kind of clarity does not use time to explain itself. A single image in a dream can bring more understanding than an hour of thinking. The impact is direct because the dream uses what resonates, not what follows rules. Dreams communicate through impression, symbolism, and meaning that bypass conscious reasoning. A single scene may carry several layers of insight. Emotions, memories, and ideas are presented without sentence structure or explanation. The message is direct but not spoken in words. Because of this, dreams do not rely on memory or duration to be effective. They exist fully in the moment they appear. They are not recalled in pieces. They are remembered as wholes. That immediacy gives them their emotional impact and makes them a powerful method of self-awareness, even when they last only a few seconds. In short, you often wake when the message is complete. That's why the timing of dreams feels unpredictable. They don't end with a conclusion. They stop when something has shifted in you. That shift is not about how long you slept. It's about what was fully seen and the lessons that your soul has learnt. 7. Time stops. Because you're in the raw code of reality. In the deepest phases of sleep, awareness becomes free from the layers that organize time and identity. The mind is no longer comparing past experiences or projecting future plans. What remains is a field of perception that functions without sequence, not because events are missing, but because they are no longer separated. Carl Jung viewed the self as the center of the psyche, a structure that holds all aspects of who you are, including the full range of your past and the blueprint of your becoming. In deep sleep, consciousness moves closer to this central space. Past, present, and future are no longer experienced as steps, but as one unified state. This folding of time is not conceptual. It is physiological and deeply felt, even if not remembered. This is why someone can lie down for a short rest and wake up feeling fundamentally different, even if only 20 minutes passed. The change does not come from duration. It comes from alignment with a part of consciousness that exists beyond time. That contact is immediate and its effect can be lasting. If you have made it this far, comment down below with the word 100% to confirm that you have received the knowledge from this video. For more interesting topics, make sure you watch the recommended video that you see on the screen right now. Thanks for watching.